you're watching India Today, and I'm in conversation with the talented star cast of Tripling 3. Please join me in welcoming my two guests for today, Sumeet Vyas and Maanvi Gagroo.
Hi.
Hi guys, welcome to India Today.
Hi, thank you.
First things first, the teaser of Tripling 3 looks really amazing. It's like a roller coaster ride of emotions.
Yes.
I want to know what's the response been for you both personally.
Very good, yeah. And I mean, of course, we knew that people really liked the show when it came out, and the second season also we received a lot of love. But then a lot of time had passed, and a lot of shows had come in that time. Yeah, it's just heartwarming to see the response again, and just to see that people remember everything and they were waiting for it. And it's a good feeling.
What's the response been for you, Maanvi?
No, same. Like people have been asking on social media, they'd be asking you when is season 3 coming. Every like Insta Q&A or live or anything, this like all the messages would be inundated with these. You know that when is season 3 even coming? What are you guys doing? So yeah, now we have an answer. It's October 21st on Z5. So please watch that.
Yeah. But I want to know what's going to be new in the season 3 in terms of your characters and in terms of the storyline.
I mean, season 3, again, it's a trip. One trip is that they are, instead of going on a road trip, they are going on a trek. But story-wise, the parents are in the driver's seat and the siblings are sort of coming to terms with it. The parents have announced that they are going their separate ways and they want to explore other things, and they just can't wrap their heads around the idea that, you know, because we are so accustomed to seeing our parents a certain way. We even say parents, we don't say mom and dad very often. We just, you know, वो एक package deal में आते हैं दोनों. So we can't imagine them not being together and doing their own thing more than anything else. We are so entitled as kids that we feel that they were born to serve us, to be around us whenever we need them. You know, so that's the main logline to to address that, and there is a trip inside as well. Which everybody takes, and which is a good trip.
That people will watch on October 21st.
Yes.
But I want to know, just as your characters have grown through the 3 seasons, I want to know how do you see how you have grown as actors with this franchising?
Oh. No, it's actually, what happens is when you're doing successive seasons of a show, and especially a show like Tripling, which is pretty much like, we all know each other, we've known each other since before season 1 as well. So there's a sense of familiarity, there's a sense of comfort, there's also a sense of freedom to do things and experiment and, like whatever, and you can tell each other that, nee, this is not working, or this is working, do this. So it allows you that space to grow as an actor, I think, like, because it's less rehearsed and more spontaneous. I mean, of course, there's a script, and of course, we are following that. But then we also, like, even he's the writer, and he'll come on set and he'll be like, okay, like let's do this. Okay, यहाँ पे, just add a joke here. We can do this. We can. So it's a mix of having a bound script and going spontaneous and improv or whatever. So there's that just allows you to find different aspects of yourself as an actor, I would say. The minute you get that comfort, the minute you have that space and that room to play around with that. So I think that way, plus in general, I think I would like to believe we've grown as people, and there's a sense of, like, we're all quite chill and happy and content, knock on wood, with our lives, know. So, and that kind of shows on set and on screen, I guess.
And what about you, Sumit? How do you see the growth in you as an actor with Tripling, the franchise in itself?
Yeah, I hope there is a growth in me as an actor.
Absolutely.
It'd be very pompous on my part to say I've grown
really
a lot.
grown as an actor.
I think I've arrived at a. But I mean, as artists in general, you grow as a human being. It's parallel. It can't be one way or the other. Which is why when you are in the field of art, be an actor or writer or director or whoever, whatever stream you're in, it's important to be an explorer in life. You need to meet new people, you want to explore new territories, you want to put yourself in a risky position professionally, personally, just to experience new things, because that's your fodder. That's the only way you can churn out a new story, or that becomes your second nature.
True.
I guess. So that evolution definitely takes place every year.
But-
Good or bad is where I'll decide when I'm 60.
60. That time you will be grown a lot.
Yeah. Okay, this was an unnecessary evolution that
With
happened.
tripling season 35.
35,
Big
yeah.
season 35. But on a personal level, how well do you connect with your characters in terms of characteristics and mannerisms?
I think mannerisms and characteristics are things that you bring to
Yeah.
the character, right? So, or somewhere whether you're doing it consciously or subliminally, it comes. Certain things come into place. But I feel more than that, what's really interesting about tripling is that the three of us over the 3 seasons have formed similar relationships with
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's not exactly like it is in the script,
Yeah.
but it's very similar to
Yeah.
like my Chandan and Chanchal's relationship is similar to, I mean, I feel now it's become like that.
Yeah.
Same with mine and Amol's, or
Right.
Sumeet and Amol's, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
so or and I find that very intriguing. You know, it's so cool. Like we've just grown into these characters. So
Yeah.
that's what I like about these.
And what do you have to say? Like on a personal level, how well do you connect to your character, Chandan?
I do. On a lot of levels, I do. Some of his quirks are borrowed. I mean, I don't have those quirks. But yeah, on a general thematic level, there is definitely a connection. I do feel personally, I feel more like Chanchal.
Yeah.
I find myself doing things that she does in life, you know,
Right.
like I want to make things okay and, you know, trying to always get things in order and get people's lives in order. Of course, unsuccessfully, but, you know.
Like in Chanchal's case.
Like in
Like
Chanchal's
Chanchal's
case.
case.
And like
Right.
messing with my own head.
Yeah.
Like, why did I even get into this situation? I had no business. Yeah, that I do identify with.
Yeah. But it's been 2 seasons of tripling now. The third one is about to release. I want to know, is there any one thing about tripling that people are still not aware about? It's not out in media and that people would like to know.
In tripling? I
Yeah.
mean, this third season is a lot, I would say, emotionally shocking, you know, in the way the story unfolds. And also, what we try to do is that there is a feeling that you have when you watch something, which is where it started from. That when I watch tripling, the show, I don't just take the feeling of going on a road trip home. I take the feeling of being with family, being with siblings, that tussle, that warmth. That's what I take home. That's what I remember. And we wanted to recreate that with a newer story, of course. And of course, a lot of what we experience in life has come to the screen, you know, as human beings. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely. But in real life, what's been the craziest road trip or a family track that you guys have been on?
Family trek, I don't know. Road trip, I've done a bunch of road trips in life. One was actually the craziest, where we had gone to Pakistan to perform a play,
Oh, nice.
Nice.
and we had crossed the Wagah border on
Yeah.
foot and then taken a car and gone there. And our theatre company's owners had specifically told us that don't carry alcohol because it's not allowed in that
Right.
country. And we're like, "Yeah." But of course, as luck would have it, somebody would carry it in their bag, thinking,
हो जाएगा.
and but their immigration officers were very gracious, and they said कि ये किसका है? And that guy said, तो ये आपकी अमानत है, ये हम हमारे पास रख रहे हैं, जब आप लौटेंगे तो आप इसे ले जाएं. And they put a label there, put it there at the office. And after 15 days of tour, we came back and it was there exactly the same quantity. And he remembered. He said, आपका ये रह गया था. मैंने कहा अरे सर.
Yeah.
But we thought we were going to get screwed.
Yeah.
We'd seen it in films that, oh, they're just waiting to put you in jail and like rip you apart or something.
Veer Zara will happen.
Veer Zara will happen. I told him, तू गया. और तेरे साथ हम भी फंसेंगे.
Right. But that's one crazy story. What about you, Maanvi? Can you recollect one crazy road trip that you have been on?
I remember, I mean, it's not crazy, it's actually gross. Because my dad was stationed in Ranipur, which is a small township near, it's a BHEL township near Haridwar.
Right.
And very pretty and stuff. So every time we had a long weekend, we would drive down to Ranipur, and we were all going, and we used to cross Muzaffarnagar, I think, which is the place which has a lot of, like, it's popular for lychees.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Muzaffarnagar or Muzaffarpur. And we were crossing that, it comes on the way, and my dad said, oh, yahan pe lychee achhi milti hai, so let's buy some. So we bought a bunch of lychee, and I love lychee. I used to love it then, I love it now. And I, like an idiot, kept eating, okay? I was a booker then also. So I kept eating, wouldn't stop. And then the rest of the way, I have just thrown up. Like, and they had to stop at every little spot. They were like, just please, like, she has to throw up, and then I would throw up. I was just, in my mind, I was thinking, thank God it's throwing up and not like loosies or something. I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, and I'm actually not very road trip person because of just like lack of loose on the roads. And so, but otherwise,
get it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Every woman would get it.
Get
I
it,
think,
yeah. I completely understand.
Yeah.
But tripling came at a time when, the whole concept of web shows was very new in the industry.
It was, I think, the second or third web show that came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Proper web series, yeah.
So how do you personally guys see the evolution of this, digital medium, and how has this platform benefited you guys in your careers?
It's immensely benefited.
Benefited.
Like, we got I think, like, we were all, I'm speaking on his behalf also, please correct me if I'm wrong. But like, we were doing odd jobs, like we'd all done a lot of work, idhar udhar, and we were doing theatre, and but we were also like waiting for that one good part, and we were not satisfied with the kind of work that was happening, or the kind of work that was coming to us. And then pictures happened for me with TVF, permanent roommates happened for him with TVF, and then of course tripling, and you have to give it to TVF for like, to have been the pioneers at that time. Like, nobody even, I remember people used to look down upon internet content at that time.
Correct.
And then I think permanent roommates came out, and everybody was like, oh my God, what is this show? It was relatable, it was easy, and it was very like, and that's with all of TVF's shows, that you can, like, the language of the characters is similar to yours, right? Like, they're not speaking some...
And plus, I remember when we were doing tripling, at the scripting stage, because web shows had just started taking off, and there was a trend to get a bigger, more famous actor name in the show. And of course, we also had that discussion internally, that does it make sense to get a couple of names for the star cast, and Aruna was the only one who said, no, there's no point doing that, because you guys will just go out there and you'll be catering to some star and their fuss. And I'd rather take some of our talent and make them stars. And not many people do that, especially when they're in a position to get someone popular.
Like, even now, they don't do that, right? Like, now they're totally in demand, and people would want to work with them.
And everything, but at no point did they bow down to this market phenomenon that they should get a popular actor and that would make their show good. None of their big shows, and I think all the shows they make are pretty big. Have any stars, so to say. And they're all stars now.
And can you imagine, like, they are the ones who kind of brought in this whole content-driven, like, story-driven content. And I can't believe that we didn't always have that. Like, ideally, that should have been the norm, right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I can't believe it's still it's a novelty.
It's a rarity,
It's an anomaly. People are, oh, great, you all work on scripts and all. That's very nice.
Storytelling.
Story and scripts, you all work very hard. That's very interesting. It's like, what else are you supposed to work on?
But I think the audiences have also evolved, and they are looking for content-driven cinema, content-driven web shows. So I think it's good that you guys work on scripts, though it's a rarity that people find. But also, today when you look back at your respective careers, which moments from your journeys do you feel were your highest highs and the lowest lows?
Whoa.
We are going there, huh?
Deep there.
I mean, lowest lows to keep happening. See, I'll tell you something very interesting. this year on my birthday, I was shooting for a film, and suddenly, ऐसी बातों में somebody was telling me that how long has it been? And like, oh, actually, think about it. It's been 22 years since I've been acting. I started acting in 2000.
Yeah.
2003 is when I did my first TV show, Doordarshan. There was a time when I used to get telegrams as fan mails.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just what was the question again? It just, I really
Highest
lost the
high and the
thought.
lowest low. I think this was the
So-
highest high
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah,
Lowest low and highest
so
high.
from there you keep going low. Every time you have something, you become popular and people want to come and talk to you. And then you don't have work, and then they forget about you
Right.
because something else has come in that place. And then again something else comes out, like I was doing a TV show again in 2009, which was quite popular. And I used to get a lot of these Facebook requests, which Facebook was the big thing at that time. And then that TV show got over, and I didn't take up more TV shows because it didn't make sense to me. And then they disappeared. First it starts from, oh yes, you are this guy, and then you're like, you come on TV, and then it's like, and then that disappears.
Yes.
And then permanent roommates happened.
Yeah.
Again it went up. Again it came down for a little bit. Now again, hopefully, inshallah, if this thing does well or whatever.
But like I said, the show is like a roller coaster ride.
Yeah,
Life is
just
too
like
like
life,
life.
yeah.
It's
Exactly
like,
like
it's
that.
a
You
roller
can't
coaster ride.
take
And
either
especially
too hard.
now, after if the pandemic has taught us anything, it's this, that you
Yeah.
don't, life is unpredictable. Like you don't know what's going to happen next. So,
Truly,
Yeah,
truly.
you shouldn't take that. I mean, I think the trick is that if you really love what you do,
Yeah.
then that will sort of save you.
yeah.
Because you are constantly trying to find new people to work with, find an interesting script to work on,
And you're
reinvent
inventing
yourself,
yeah.
you know, so you're busy with that. If you're only like dependent or enamored by, oh, how famous I am or how much money I made, then you're bound to get disappointed at some stage.
Yeah.
But this is a question from an industry perspective. Recently, Team RRR, they submitted the film in 14 categories for
Yes,
Oscars.
yeah.
What are your thoughts about the same? And also the film that Chelo show, which is going to the Oscars,
yeah.
India's official entry to the
Correct,
Oscars. What are your thoughts on the same?
That's Pan's film, na? Nalin's,
Yeah, Pan-Nalin, right.
No, very excited. Yeah, I think anyway, I think that's also a phenomenon that's kind of been quickened by internet because of internet. You know, there's a lot of mixing of content happening in the sense that we always had access to a lot of Western cinema, but they didn't have access to a lot of our cinema. But now they do, right? Like you can just go online and watch. I remember a friend of mine was recently at Comic-Con and they were telling me about how the minute they heard India, they were like, oh, RRR.
Yeah,
You know, they now recognize India with RRR.
Yeah.
So it's great. If any Indian film is representing us at a forum like Oscars. But I hope like more and more films go there. And I also somewhere hope that we should also like this hunger that we have for Oscar validation should, I mean, it's great. I mean, of course, I love watching Oscars and that they mean something. But
I
we
love
also,
it when they slap each other also. It's
Yeah.
lovely. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like in the past few years, if you see, and also we're also in this industry, we also kind of know what awards, how they're like, you know, the whole mechanics of award
that
shows
goes behind
and all
winning
of
an
that.
award.
Yeah, so I think we should focus on working. Awards to aate rahenge. Like there'll be many awards that will come. There'll be and like I'm gonna say something really cliche, but you know the real award is the audience love. But I genuinely
that's
mean
true. That's a true validation
I
as an
genuinely mean
actor that you can ever get.
Yeah, for sure. Like I love if I'm walking on the street and like when people come up to me and they're like, they're just so like you can see it in their eyes.
Yeah,
They're like, oh my god, like you're Chanchal or you're
Chandan,
whatever, Shreya or
yeah.
Jopi. So that I quite like that. That's the real. It makes you feel good. For sure.
Absolutely. But thank you so much, guys,
Thank
for
you.
doing this conversation.
Thank
It
you.
was lovely chatting with both of you. Thanks a
Thank
lot
you.
for
Thank
being
you
on
so
India
much.
Today.
Thank
Thanks
you
a
so
lot.
much.